At the Online Therapy Unit, we've had the opportunity to provide assistance to people who report that they would not otherwise have sought in-person therapy. I'd like to tell you about Peter's experience with the online program as an example. Peter is a 40-year-old single male client. He described having problems with anxiety his whole life, and unfortunately, these problems got worse and worse until Peter found himself depressed, unable to work, and in fact, having difficulties leaving the safety of his house. Peter knew he had to do something, but going to see a therapist in person seemed far too daunting. Peter shared that he was overwhelmed with lots of fears and worries that he knew were unreasonable, but he felt helpless about how to address his concerns. Through his online therapy program, Peter learned important principles for conducting exposures that would help him tackle his anxiety. For example, he learned how to construct an exposure stepladder. In this exercise, Peter made a plan to progressively tackle his fears by confronting easier, smaller fears at first, then working his way up the steps until he felt comfortable tackling more difficult, larger fears. For example, one of Peter's goals was to be able to leave his house for an entire day without panicking. Peter's first step towards this goal was to sit on his porch for 20 minutes. His second step was to take a brief walk around his block. After practicing each step, Peter was able to tackle the next step, and the next. Over time, by using an exposure stepladder, Peter was able to drive across town to meet friends for coffee. Not surprisingly, once Peter could leave his house, connect with friends again, and engage in activities he used to enjoy, his symptoms of depression began to resolve. Peter shared he knew all along that there were things in his life he needed to change, but he struggled to find a plan and struggled to find the support he needed. For Peter, the online therapy program provided the support and tools to start tackling his fears and changing his life.